Hi there, readers. It's so great to see you. Welcome back. I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about today. It is one of my most favorite things that we get to do as readers this school year. So what we're going to do today is choose books that we want to talk about, and we're going to observe what it looks and sounds like to participate in a book club. So let's read our target. Grab your arrows out of your quiver. Shoot for that target and follow along with me while we read. 1, 2, 3. I can carefully observe what happens during a book club. Psh. Nicely done. Have you ever heard of book clubs before? They are such a blast. Let's find out what they are. So we know our goal today is to observe, looking and listening carefully for what we notice. As we look, listen carefully, and learn all the important parts of a book club, this will be your next target. You will be able to responsibly participate in a book club all on your own by sharing your very own thinking and tuning in to the thinking of everyone else participating. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. In order to prepare, you are going to make yourself a circle map on a blank piece of paper or on your whiteboard. So Mavs, you have an example of a circle map up in your top right corner of your screen right here. I drew one out on a blank piece of paper and it's just on my clipboard ready to go for me. So go ahead and pause the video now and either grab your white clipboard or a blank piece of paper. Draw yourself a blank circle map with just the word book clubs in the middle. Nothing else on here yet. Remember, it's not a bubble map. It doesn't have lots of little circles. It's a big circle map that we use to just dump ideas or things we notice. Pause the video now if you need time to grab something to write your circle map on. We'll see you back here in just a minute. Welcome back! I'm glad you're prepared and ready to go. Thanks so much for following directions. You'll be really glad that you did that. Now, as you watch and listen to this awesome book club example we're about to watch together, I want you to write down everything that you notice. Everything that you notice these young learners doing. What are they saying? How are they responding to each other? What's in their hands? What do you see? What do you hear? What types of things are they talking about? What are their bodies doing? I can't wait to see all the things you notice in our example. Let's watch together closely. I'll take my notes on my circle map at the same time you do. Be ready to share your circle map with me at the end of our mini lesson today. So take your notes while we watch.
Why do they have paint on their skin? Because they have all these designs on their skin. Oh.
I thought it was because they were sacred, and a part of why I thought that they were sacred is because one reason is because they have the paint on them, and they in the book I noticed they were doing dances for their gods. Dances. Well, I know in my background knowledge.
Can you
My dad is an
believe
expert on
he just
things,
used
so
the word
so he told me
background knowledge?
They're expert background knowledge. They usually have paintings on their arms and their faces because they're like dancing, and that's how they pray to their god. And they also use that paint for when they're in the environment. was wondering why that I would be, so I thought she was brave, Pocahontas was brave, because, like, if I wouldn't go and, like, try and see the Englishmen if they might have were going to bring, war and they were taking over our land. But so that's what I think.
This sounds like such an interesting book that they're discussing.
I would do that. Reba?
On page 6, right here, I thought I inferred that, I don't know how you pronounce it, Pichanacana, I think.
Pocahontas' uncle.
Yeah. Was
Oh, I've
maybe
heard that
a
name
scout,
Pocahontas
because
before, but
otherwise
I've never read a book about her.
then. So I think that he might have been a scout, and he
Wow, there was so much happening there. Oh my goodness. If you need the time, take a minute and write down anything else that you noticed those amazing readers doing. I'm going to finish one last note of something I noticed. Wow, look at all the notes that I took about what I noticed in their book club. I noticed so many cool things happening. What's something that you noticed? Did you really? Oh my goodness. Now, readers, these are all different things that we have learned so far this year. Did you notice any of the readers on the screen sharing any of these things that are familiar to you? A part they liked, something they learned, a question they had. I heard that one. A reaction they had, background knowledge that helped them to comprehend. I heard them sharing a lot of the same things that we've already learned as readers this school year. That was pretty amazing. Okay, so today, when you're finished, you are going to take this exact same circle map and be ready to use the sentence stem right here on your screen. I noticed. Get ready. I noticed. You're going to use that sentence stem and share a couple of things that you noticed with your teacher today. So here's an example of some of the things you may have noticed. I turned my circle map into a digital one that you could see on your screen, so it's a little bit easier to read. Did you notice any of these same things? If you did, go ahead and add them to your circle map, because remember, you need to be ready to share. I noticed. All right, I noticed people writing down their thinking on sticky notes just like we've done. I also noticed everyone had sticky notes all over their text. I even noticed they all had the same book in their hand. They were talking about the same thing. Did you also notice that kids turned the pages to follow along? I heard one kiddo say, I'm on page 6, and they all flipped there so they could follow along with what she was saying. I even noticed the kids asking questions and either using their background knowledge or evidence from the text to support answering each other's questions. I noticed a couple other things too, but one really amazing thing I noticed, there was no adult talking. Did you see that? That is my favorite part about book clubs. It's only kids' voices. There are no adults. You are in charge, you are leading, and you are having the discussion. So I'm also inferring that these kids were prepared, don't you think? They didn't just show up and have this conversation without taking the time to be prepared. I was quite impressed. So let's check in on today's target. I can carefully observe what happens during a book club. Did you look and listen carefully to what happened during our example book club today? Great. I'm so glad you did. Now here are your steps to show your teacher what you learned today. When you finish this video, click on the green Add Response button that you see right here with this activity in Seesaw. After you click the green Add Response button, you're going to click the Photo button. Take a very clear photo of your whole circle map so that your teacher can see everything you noticed on today's book club example. Then use the Caption button to practice typing a complete sentence. Your complete sentence could look like this. Today, when I watched an example book club, I noticed. Share a couple things with me today. What did you notice? And then make sure you hit that green check mark to turn it into your teacher so we can see that awesome thinking, reader. I can't wait to hear from you, and I know your teacher can't wait to hear from you. What did you learn today about book clubs?